All right, gentlemen, what say we stack this tier list with some Arma 3 DLC? We're going to go by the date they went live on Steam and go from there. Any objections?
Arma 3 is the fucking GOAT. Let's do this, boys.
Couldn't agree more, Donald.
Okay, first up is probably one of the most divisive DLCs ever launched, the Carts DLC. I'm going to be honest, I think it was dog shit, and it doesn't need to go past D tier.
Look, guys, it wasn't that bad, and people actually enjoyed it because it was a joke at first, but the amount of community love it received drove Bohemia to make it a thing. C tier at least, dude, come on.
Did you have a fucking stroke saying that, Joe? I can't believe I'm hearing this right now.
Joe is speaking facts, though. I'm on board with a boost to C tier.
You're fucking high, but okay, I guess let's move this along to DLC that don't give me diarrhea.
Okay, next up is the Helicopters DLC. For me personally, this one absolutely slaps and shouldn't go lower than A tier, honestly.
Facts.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't like that the asset list in this DLC was shorter than Liz Truss's stint as Prime Minister, but you can sling load your friends while they're in a Humvee, and that just gets my dick rock hard. A tier is an easy kill. Send it.
All right, we're all in agreement. Next up is the Marksman DLC.
All it did was add a few guns and a ghillie suit. This is an easy D tier for me, guys.
Joe, how did I know you were going to drop the most low IQ take on us this early in the tier list? Marksman DLC added weapons, but also attachments like tripods, so sniping didn't suck as much as your presidency.
Preach.
Get fucked, orange boy.
Maybe you should try to get fucked more often so your ability to think rationally isn't so impaired. Marksman also added a platform-wide Marksman update for the mechanics, which you received whether or not you bought the DLC, and that is always a win for the players. I mean, you could fire from vehicles now, for Christ's sake. Throw this shit in B tier at least, Barack.
Yeah, I 100% agree, Donnie. B tier it is. Sorry, Joe.
Come on, man.
Nope, it's slotted. Moving on.
All right, next we've got the Apex DLC from 2016. Honestly, you're fucking delusional if you think this belongs any lower than S tier.
Too right, Barack. Throw that hoe in S tier right now. Anyone with an IQ low enough to say otherwise is probably too busy fucking their sister to even be watching this.
I agree, boys. S tier material right here, no question.
Holy fuck, thanks for finally waking up, Sleepy Joe.
The sheer fact it came with so many platform updates that literally changed the way the game is played for the better is reason alone for its placement. Plus, Tanoa is beyond gorgeous to look at. Glad we all agree, boys. All right, next up is the Jets DLC. I'm not much of a Jets guy myself, but I won't deny the beauty that is the 3 new aircraft it shipped with, as well as the complete rework of the radar and air-to-air combat.
Don't forget the absolute based-as-fuck aircraft carrier and destroyer that it came with, along with the free Malden DLC that shipped for it a month later. Not to mention the surface-to-air missile emplacements that actually make flying a jet a bitch and a half when they're spammed all over the map by the cocksucking Zeus.
You're spitting straight facts today, Donald. What do you think, Joe?
Boys, I'm going to be honest with you.
Fuck, here we go.
I honestly expected a little more for what I was paying for. C tier at best, there I said it.
God damn it, Joe. There's 7.6 billion people on this planet, and you decided to have the dumbest fucking take out of all of them. The DLC go on ridiculous sale up to 75% off throughout the year, something I thought you'd like since you're so fucking cheap. And don't forget that all of the assets, minus the jets, are usable if you didn't even buy the DLC. They were given for free. Finally, the fucking Jets soundtrack slaps. This belongs no lower than A tier.
Joe, I'm inclined to agree with Donald on this one after hitting us with that foot-long fact sandwich.
At least 2 of us are awake, Barack. Jesus.
Fine, A-list it for all I care.
All right, guys, next up is the Laws of War DLC. Me personally, I loved what they went for on this one, B tier at the lowest. Donald, Joe, what's your thoughts?
Barack, this one is absolute trash. I don't want someone reminding me of my war crimes every time I drop a cluster bomb. If they didn't want me to use cluster bombs, they shouldn't have sent so many infantry to contend with.
Donald, you incite just as much violence in other countries as you did in our own capital on January 6th. The fuck is the matter with you?
Joe, take another hit from your oxygen and change your diaper, you forgetful fuck. If I recall correctly, it was me having the balls to withdraw from Afghanistan that finally got us out of that war. This shit is D tier at best.
Yeah, and what a soup sandwich that was. Thanks for handing that off like all your failed companies. Meet me in the middle at C tier at least, Donald. Its message about ending war is something we should all get behind.
Gonna have to agree with him there, Donald. C tier sounds right. Not bad, not great.
Fine, fuck it. C tier and let's move on.
All right, now we've got the TAC Ops mission pack. Gonna be honest here, I'm not a huge fan of paying for missions. Thoughts?
Yeah, Barack, I'm not a fan either, but what it lacked in quantity, it made up for in quality. The new missions it came with are basically mini campaigns that were fun to play and were really polished. Plus, the soundtrack slapped harder than Will Smith at the Oscars. This is a B tier, minimum.
Yeah, I'll go with B tier. I enjoyed the well put together briefings and after action reports. Plus, it was nice seeing the new assets from Apex and beyond get used in a campaign instead of people trying to fumble with them on the Steam Workshop.
Fuck yeah, B tier it, Barack.
All right, done. Now we've got the tanks DLC. This one is kind of mid. I wish the NATO tank destroyer was tracked, if I'm being honest. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The AAF kind of got fucked in this one. The tank-centered missions were pretty cool, and I wish we had way more of that. But if you breathe too hard on a Nix, it fucking disintegrates, and the T-14 just mouth fucks everything it sees. Kind of OP, if you ask me.
Spitting straight facts, Donnie. AAF could have gotten something cooler, although this is the only tank you can airlift, so that's a redeeming quality at least. B tier, gents?
Yeah, I'm good with B tier. The top-down attack mode this came with also lets you fuck tanks up left and right, plus there were a host of other mechanics updates to the platform that made this one shine. B tier it is.
I'm pretty sure the fucking alien one was next, right, Barack?
Right you are, Donnie, the Contact DLC. Hands down the creepiest of the DLCs, especially hunting those signals and shit out in the Livonian woodlands. Had my butthole puckered all the time.
Yeah, this one scared the shit out of me. Sometimes it's what you don't see that scares you the most. Throw this one in A tier.
Whoa, what the fuck? This is B tier material at best, Sleepy Joe. Hit your oxygen again.
Get fucked, Cheeto. They put a lot of work into this one. Plus, the wavelength frequency hunting you can do is God tier, and I've never seen something else like that in any other game. A tier.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The mechanics in Contact slapped, even if they aren't really used all that much. Also, we got the LDF camo scheme and all that badass new gear. Need I say more?
Nail on the head, Barack. Send it.
All right, guys, next we've got the first community-made creator DLC, Global Mobilization. These assets get my pants tight, I'm not going to lie. This is an easy A tier for me.
I would put it in A tier, except if I load more than 5 assets into a map, I'm playing it on a fucking slideshow. NASA won't let me borrow a computer because they gave them all to fucking SpaceX. So here I am with 4 FPS trying to hunt tanks in a Leopard one. Those assets are damn sexy, though, and if it weren't for the FPS issue, I'd give it higher, but I vote B tier at best.
Donnie, I thought we'd see eye to eye here, but let's be honest, your PC is fucking shit and runs at 4 FPS regardless of the assets used.
Blow me.
A tier this shit, Barack.
Yeah, A tier is where this is at, full send. Next, we've got the SOG Prairie Fire DLC. I feel like I know where this is going.
Absolutely goated S tier. I will come to the house of anyone that says otherwise and take a fat dump on their lawn. Savage Game Design helped get one of the Special Forces officers to finally be recognized for his valor and receive his Medal of Honor. If that wasn't enough for you, the shitload of new guns, vehicles, planes, and all the new period-specific Vietnam maps easily solidify Prairie Fire and S tier. I'll die on this fucking hill. Let's see what kind of delusional take Sleepy Joe is about to throw our way.
Donnie, if you'd shut the fuck up and let someone else speak for once, you'd know I also placed this in S tier without fucking question. Barack, I'm assuming you feel the same. Otherwise, you might want to check your lawn for Cheeto shit.
No need for the poop scoop. S tier material. Next, we got the Iron Curtain Creator DLC. Donnie, I know you've got something to say on this one.
Too fucking right, Barack. Don't ever try and sell me modded material ever again. This is practically cup assets with a new coat of paint, with the exception of the M1 Abrams and the T-72, which honestly look good. Also, the map is hype as fuck, but I wouldn't know because they're asking for $13 for what is essentially a mod. I'm fucking gutted this somehow sold more than TAC Ops, if I'm being honest.
Fair points all around, Donnie. Joe, what you got?
Look, yes, the assets were a little lackluster, but the map absolutely slaps and should get some love. I'm going to go with D tier, and that's honestly being generous.
Yeah, a little too generous, Joe. If Steam reviews are anything to go by, then mostly negative doesn't sound like a DF tier for me.
Gonna have to agree with Joe on this one, Don. The map is a pretty redeeming factor here and shouldn't be counted out.
Fuck it, go ahead and slap it on D tier. It's still the lowest.
All right, and finally we're at the Western Sahara DLC. Gonna be honest, the map is fire, but I know Donnie is gonna cry about the FPS issue again.
Eat shit, Barack. The map is littered with way too much shit, and the randomly generated missions don't take me to half of it. So for me, I'm going to give it C tier at best.
Donald, you are completely discounting the new weapons and gear and the factions they came with. The campaign is an open-ended one that can be played alone or with friends for hours. It's a literal sandbox, you douche. How can you not have fun in that?
The same way you're not going to have fun in the coming election, Sleepy Joe. I'm coming for you again. C tier this shit, and let's call it a day, Barack.
I personally enjoyed the campaign, and the new map is beautiful in the right lighting. Plus, the wind blows the sand over the dunes. It's really quite beautiful. B tier minimum.
Yeah, I'll bet you like those Sahara dunes the same way you like the ones in Afghanistan, blowing billions of taxpayers' dollars away.
Donald, you know that situation was not an easy one to get out of, and at least I got bin Laden. You gloss over all the details of Afghanistan like it was just so easy to leave.
Speaking of leaving, I'm about to leave this fucking chat if we don't wrap this up.
Will you compromise on B tier then, Donnie?
Yeah, whatever gets me out of here quicker.
All right, boys, I think we have our full tier list completed for all the paid DLCs in Arma 3. You guys want to hop on a game and kill some shit?
Hell yes, I do. War crimes are calling my name. I say we load up prairie fire so I can drop napalm on random villages.
Jesus Christ, Donnie, we all know your flying skills are mid as fuck, and you'll hit a tree before you get any bombs on target.
I hope you're in the village I'm bombing, Sleepy Joe. I don't even care if it's friendly fire. Spawn back at base and wait for Barack to pick your ass up in a Huey.